So whenever I'm on a live stream, I always get questions to the theme of what's the big secret? What are the things I'm not doing? What's the niche I'm not looking at? What's the idea that I don't know? What's the work process? What's the sleep habits? What's the diet thing that I'm not doing? What is the big extra crazy thing that I need to do to break through to the next level? Now, I've known this for a while, but it's something that has been made so abundantly clear by the launch of World of Warcraft Classic. Now, this isn't really going to be a gaming video. It's more of the underlying theme to how you should approach almost everything in life. So, look, people are always looking to do something extra. And if you looked at the most previous form of World of Warcraft that existed, I think it was Battle for Azeroth or something, and compare it to WoW Classic, it is substantially more game. It has more features, it has more ease of use, it is more user-friendly, it has better graphics, it has better combat, it has better actions, it has better features. Everything in that game is 15 years of refinement and extra. There's so much extra added onto it. They've spent 15 fucking years adding stuff and building upon the blueprint that WoW Classic is the original of. Now, when WoW Classic was released, it broke every single streaming record. And if you don't know what it is, basically World of Warcraft has been around for 15 years, and they went all the way back in time. They went back in time to the first version of it, which if you go and look at it from a outsider's point of view, or you go look at it at face value, the old version, it's like comparing Super Mario 64, okay, look at this, to Super Mario now. It's comparing World of Warcraft from 15 years ago, when I was like 15 years old, literally, to World of Warcraft now. You would think to yourself, why on earth would people want to go back in such numbers? But they have. It has broken every single streaming record. The servers have been completely busted. It's been like no launch they've done in the past couple of years. People are more active. People are sharing it. Every single person is playing. It's the most watched thing on Twitch by far. It has been a resounding success. It's been their most successful expansion launch, I think, since their second one. How? How does this happen? To reinforce what I'm about to explain to you, it's not just something that gets a lot of attention. This is also the key to making a lot of money with very little resistance, because this is probably the most profitable thing they've done in a long time. Look, WoW Classic probably took, how much did it take to make? How much did it take? How much did it take to make World of Warcraft original? How much did it take? $200 million. All right, $200 million to make the game originally. Okay, so that's a pretty hefty payday right there. So it's obvious to say that for every single expansion, let's imagine every expansion costs them at least $50 million to make, $50 million in developer fees and whatnot. This could be wrong, it could be right, it could be more, it could be less. So every time to do this, their subs were actually going down during these times. Their subs were at their peak around this one, and they're all just kind of going down. So they keep having to spend more money to get less results. And they're having to do all these things like microtransactions and dirty shit that people hate. The thing is, after this right here, this paid for itself, and they just had this lying around in the back offices or just in the trash can somewhere, and people were literally going and raiding the trash can and playing WoW on their own servers. They just had this thing right here. And all they had to do to make the most money ever, this is already paid for. The code's already done. You don't need to hire many developers. You just need to clean it up just a tad. They go into their trash can, they pull this out, and their subscriptions skyrocket to the biggest point ever. They don't even have to invest anything. There's literally no investment besides shooting a cool commercial with a guy at a bar singing about WoW. I haven't seen any ads for it, just word of mouth all over the internet. How does this happen? And it doesn't make any sense if you are thinking in terms that progress comes from adding and not subtraction. The thing is that you need to realize from this, and that also in life, is that the way forward in product design, in your business, in your advertising, and also in your life is very, very rarely what else can you add. It is almost always what can you remove, and what is the core thing that people want or that you need to do to get results. See, check this out. So let me explain it this way. A lot of people always ask me about sleep, and this is going to be a more simplified version of what I want to talk about right here, but it applies to the same principles as World of Warcraft, and that applies a lot more as far as product design goes and what people actually want in your product and what they don't want. When people ask me about sleep, though, they think the way to get a good night's sleep, or the way to improve your sleep, is you gotta wake up and stare at the sun. You gotta do a handstand every single day. You have to pray to the moon god at night, and then you have to eat special bananas, and you also have to watch an episode of Keeping Up with the Kardashians at least 3 times. So you have to watch episode 3. It's a very specific episode, and then you must not say the word potato brand at all during the day. If you follow all these magical concoctions, you will sleep 8 hours. The truth is that if you want to get much better sleep and you want to improve at something, it's usually almost always, the answer to move forward is almost always take away shit. So most people, the reason why they don't sleep is because of a bunch of other extra shit. It's because they're doing too much. It's because they're working too much. It's because they're watching TV before they go to bed. It's because they have tons of inflammation in their body and they're eating certain bad foods. It's because they're taking too many supplements. It's not always the case that, no, don't do something else, just stop what you're doing, everything is good enough. That's not always the case. That being said, the way to make the most progress usually is just removing the stuff. If you want to get really good sleep and you want to improve in this aspect of your life and move forward in other things, just remove the TV, remove the supplements. Stop working so late. Just get rid of stuff. Just get rid of stuff. And if you look at people's businesses, for example, I have an education business that makes substantially more than almost every education business that I know. There's very few out there that make more than my education business. Now, I'm the most successful online. No. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying if you took a room full of education businesses and you had 100 of them, and they're all fairly successful, I'd be in the top 10%. And this is just my side business. Now, of course, there's bigger businesses out there like Tony Robbins or Ty Lopez or stuff like that are doing, tons of money every single year. That's not the point. The thing I want to lay out right here is that this business is able to do substantially more than other businesses, and it's just one funnel, and it's one product, and it's one automated system. It's just one email follow-up, and it's on one ad source for the most part. Why does this work? Because I've narrowed it down to only the things I need for it to work. Whereas you go on Facebook, I'll scroll past ads and you see fuckers with 15 different info products. They have a messenger funnel. They're getting a person's phone number. They are starting off the webinar by getting people to follow them on Instagram. They're doing all sorts of stuff. It's so complicated. I couldn't even do this in my wildest dreams. And because of that, it doesn't really ever work very well. Okay? I work with tons of people because our business works with tons of businesses that are running advertising at Hyros. Love our clients. A lot of times I will go on, and usually some of our lower tier clients, their businesses are so extremely complicated. I just say, hey, maybe just take out Facebook Messenger, and you don't need to have this crazy retargeting campaign. You don't need to do this thing, and just focus on these simple things. No, you don't need to have some comment bot respond to everything. It's going to mess up everything you're doing. Just focus on these things right there, and then they make more money. This echoes through everything. And so if you look at the launch of WoW Classic, WoW Classic, what it nailed really well was community and challenge, okay? That's really all it nailed. If you look at the combat, not so great. You look at the rage, you look at all the things, the aspects of the game, none of it's particularly phenomenal. It had a very large world and it was very cool at the time. But what it really nailed was community and challenge. It took a lot of challenge to rise to the top of this community. That's what it really nailed. Then what happened with all the other later iterations is like Blizzard's like, we have to keep adding. So they made the map bigger. And then they added these other things. They added in a complicated PvP system. And then they added in your own towns that you could build. And they added in this, and they added in this. And what happened is they created this thing. They had this one little nugget right here. There was WoW Classic that people loved. They were obsessed with it. It was a cultural phenomenon. And they made the thing so big and delivered so much that this got diluted and stopped mattering. Now, it didn't become unsuccessful by any means, but in the peak when most people were playing World of Warcraft is way back when and right now. Now, is this video about World of Warcraft, no, it's not. But when you're looking at product design, the reason why most people's SaaS companies fail, or the reason why their education businesses don't do as well as they could, or the reason why they don't grow like they did, is because they're sitting in this void out here. They're trying to do what Blizzard did with World of Warcraft. They're trying to make their SaaS company deliver too much. They're trying to make their software do everything. They're trying to make their info business cover every aspect. They're trying to make their consulting business work for every single type of client. They're trying to deliver on so many things because they think the way to grow a business is you just keep going and you have your business right here. You got your business, and the solution must be to pile more and more and more and more and more and more and more on. So when you're thinking about how you're going to build your business, which niche you're going to pick into, the things you're going to learn, you need to really stop asking yourself, what can I add? What else can I do? And you need to say, what else can I not do? What are the things can I not do? What can I decide not to do? What can I remove from what I'm doing right now and still get really good results? And then you want to turbo drive that. It even comes to when you're thinking. It's a way more effective process. What you need to understand is that the knowledge that you know is very tiny. What you actually know about anything is very tiny. And what you don't know is insane. It's insanely huge. If you took every book in the world and you looked at all of human knowledge put together, it isn't even 0.001% of what is actually out there knowledge-wise. We don't even know how the fuck we got here. You're sitting in a room right now watching this video, and you really have no idea how the fuck you got here. You're just going through this life experience, and you don't know where the fuck you came from. You don't know where the fuck you're going. I mean, really think about that, dudes. The entire human race, we can't explain how the fuck we got here, okay? Like, we don't know how this is happening, how we're conscious, and I'll just leave it at that. But to put that in perspective, everything that we know about anything is very, very tiny. And so when you're thinking about what business should I do, or what things should I do, or what niche should I get into, or what should I learn, you should really start thinking more so about not what should you go and find, but more so what should you not do. If you can eliminate all the things you should not do, you're usually going to have the thing that's right. Whereas if you try and focus on everything you know and bring in everything from the outside, what you know is very little. And what you decide to do is based on very little knowledge, and you're very rarely going to be right about things. And so if you're trying to pull into yourself, instead of saying, what should I not do? What ideas should I not listen to? What things am I thinking should I not do? You're usually going to end up with the right idea, because it's much more likely that you can eliminate what's wrong. You can be very certain that things are wrong, but you can't always be certain that things are right. And that also applies to your business too. If you're trying to think of ways to stop your business from failing, it's much more important that you go out there and you find the things you should not do and don't do them, versus try and think of new things you can do. That's the catch-22 of all this. And so that's just something I wanted to point out to you in this video. Everybody always asks, how do I move forward in life? How do I do this thing? How do I grow a business? How do I go and make myself have greater willpower? That's the one I get all the time. How do I motivate myself? The most easiest way to motivate yourself is not to go and find haikus and crazy things you can add to your life. It's to remove all the things in your life that are demotivating you. Get rid of the annoying family members. Get rid of the bad friends. Get rid of the alcohol. Get rid of the bad food. Get rid of the bad habits that are annoying you. Get rid of your cell phone that's always distracting you. Delete your Facebook account that's always bugging you so you can't focus on work. Stop going and manually paying all your bills. Stop going and going grocery shopping. Stop doing anything that isn't based around the thing you want to do. And you're probably going to have so much motivation left over that it becomes very easy for you to do. That's the lesson for today. And that's what you should look at. When you're looking at World of Warcraft, for example, they thought to themselves, what should we do? What can we add? What can we add? What can we add? When they had something that worked already. When you're thinking about your product or core business, what is the least you can provide while giving the maximum benefit? Not what's the maximum you can provide in general. You always want to provide the least. Not because so you can make the highest profit margin, but because that least, if you really nail down the one or two things you should really deliver on, you're going to have something people can't live without, like World of Warcraft, which is the community and the challenge. People are addicted to that. They can't get off it. Go browse Twitch right now and look how freaking out people are about the community and the challenge to get stuff. And you'll see why this is true. So that's it.